what my rev limiter is set at because I have no idea. But I need to make sure the car is going to fit on the trailer. Ford takeover is getting close. That should save us hopefully from any bent studs or even broken studs. What's going on, and welcome back. So today we're going to turn our attention to Project Stepchild for a little bit. We've got some things to do to make sure that she is ready for Ford takeover. Now we've got some parts, or a group of parts, in that after doing some research I figured out I may need. So let me turn the camera around, let me show you what I'm talking about. Alright, so what I have here are some new lug nuts for Project Stepchild, and this is going to be for the rear wheels for the drag setup. Basically I did some research, and apparently with an acorn style wheel, when drag racing, when getting lots of traction and launching hard, some guys have run into issues with bending their wheel studs. So the solution is an ET style lug nut. That's what they call it, and it's basically like an extra length. So as you can see, it is an acorn style, which is the taper you see there, but it also has that extended part on it. So that's going to help save the studs and keep them from bending. So what we've got to do is we've got to test fit this, or test fit these on the wheels on the car to make sure everything is good to go. And that should save us hopefully from any bent studs or even broken studs. So I figured it was a cheap, not really a mod, but kind of a precautionary measurement to take with the car. So I figured I'd just go ahead and do it and hopefully avoid any issues with the studs. So let's get them on, let's get them on the car, let's make sure they fit correctly, and see what we see. Now one thing I want to show you that I like to do with any Shank style lug nut, and I don't know if I'll be able to get you another C. I don't know if there'll be enough light, possibly, but you can see the lug nut in there. Basically what I like to do, and you'll see on the video here, is pull the wheel onto the shank. That way you don't have to worry about it getting bound up in there. Basically you've got the wheel sitting on all the shanks, and you just slowly bring it in, so that way you don't, like I said, you don't have to worry about the shank binding or being crooked or anything like that. As long as you got the wheel on the shanks, you should be good to go. Now these are a little bit different because the shank is so short, it's kind of hard to do, so I'm going to have to kind of hold the wheel onto the shanks as I bring them in, but it should work the same way. So let's see what happens. one other thing you just saw me do is I ran all the lug nuts in very slowly in a cross pattern and just pulled the wheel up slow to the hub. But if you notice, I also was taking the lug nuts off one by one to check them. Basically what I'm doing is I'm checking to make sure that the wheel is making contact, that the acorn, the tapered seat, is making full contact. These lug nuts are pretty snug in there. They fit pretty tight. This is a 14-inch stud on the S550, so you don't have much room to work with, and these lug nuts are like super close tolerance to the wheel hole itself. It's a little tough with these. Most shanks aren't this tough, but this one, like I said, with the 14mm studs, it is close tolerances. So let me show you the lug nut that I just took off, and I'll show you what I'm talking about by making sure that you're getting full contact and what's going on with the lug nut. All right, so here's the lug nut, and as you can see, you know, there are marks all the way around on the shank where you can see it pass through the wheel, and on the acorn part of the seat. Not all of the coating may come off, but there is marks, so you can see that it is making contact with the wheel on the seat. So that's basically what I'm looking for. You don't have to do this, but this is just to ensure that these are going to work for me and that they are making contact with the wheel like they're supposed to. So there you have it. And again, I want to reinforce the reason that I'm using these lug nuts is because I'm using an acorn style seat wheel, and I don't want any issues with the studs bending, breaking, anything like that. Most of your drag wheels are going to use a shank style. There's not too many acorn seat style wheels out there for drag use. So, but anyway, like I said, just a precaution, just to kind of give me that warm fuzzy feeling inside that I'm, you know, doing it right and doing the right thing and preventing possible breakage or failure or whatever of any parts. But they seem to fit really good. It's just a black steel ET style lug nut. I did measure the hole of my wheel and search for the correct outer diameter shank and length, you know, for the application that I needed. So everything seems to be working out good. Everything went on pretty smooth, and I believe these are going to work. I did tighten all the lug nuts down and did go around the wheel and look and make sure I had full contact with the pad of the wheel onto the hub of the car, and I do have that, so we should be good to go. So that's just kind of a, not really a tip or a trick, but kind of, you know, just something to watch out for if you're running an acorn style drag setup, or even, you know, even for the street you could run them to help you know, make sure that wheel is nice and tight, and you know, it's a little bit easier on the studs because you've got more thread engagement, and hopefully keep from bending them. Maybe you road race and maybe you want to use these. It may help with that too, I don't know. But like I said, I've seen some posts about it and some people talking about it, so I figured, you know, why not be safe and use a shank style. So that is one step closer to being 100% ready for Ford takeover. The car is ready. These are just the little things that I'm having to do to you know, be 100% ready to go. But I still have a few more things. I still need to mess with the wide open throttle box and make sure that's good to go. And I need to make sure I'm set up with my shift light. I need to send an email to Palm Beach Dyno. I keep forgetting to ask them what my rev limiter is set at because I have no idea. That's bad, but you know, I don't know. I just never asked what it was set at. They never really said, so I'm going to send an email and find out what that's set at so that I can, you know, adjust my shift light accordingly. And then also I need to make sure the car is going to fit on the trailer. I still have not done that yet. I've got to do that to make sure we have no issues there. You know, I may need to get, say, some boards or something like that. You know, the car is pretty low. I know it's gonna go on different than Coyote Ugly did because it's a Fox body, totally different car. So, you know, I need to make sure that like I said, we are 100% ready to go. Got a little bit of time left. Ford takeover is getting close, and I don't want to be waiting till the last minute and run around trying to figure out these little things. So anyway, that's gonna do it for today, this video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, hit the like button. If you haven't subscribed, please do so, and we'll see you on the next one.